And I tell you, friends, we'll come across in this beautiful text so many examples. Once we gain the knowledge of self through Shastra Adhyayanam, through Shravana, and we do Mananam later on, reflection. Then Nischayena Dhyatavyaha Nididhyasitavyaha, Didhyasa, where firmly afterwards, with firm conviction, we meditate upon the truth. Then the truth gets revealed. So we saw yesterday what is the meaning of Atma, what is the meaning of Bodha, why it is Atma Bodha is necessary. And preparations are required for this knowledge. That is called, we'll come across now in this sloka, first sloka. So we'll enter into the first sloka today. I will read as though you are repeating with me. With me meaning repeating after me, sorry. So I chant as though we are in a classroom. I chant. You all loudly repeat. I may not listen, I need not listen. But I repeat twice. Second time, I assume that you are joining me in chanting. Okay? I hope it is clear. Tapobhikshena papanam. Tapobhikshena papanam. Shantanam vitaraginam. Shantanam vitaraginam. Mumukshunam apekshyoyam. Mumukshunam apekshyoyam. Atma bodho vidhiyate. Atma bodho vidhiyate. Now let us see now. Now, as I told you, fourfold qualifications are mentioned in this sloka, which to gain that Atma Vidya, Atma, knowledge of Atma, in Tattva Bodha also, in Shastras also, fourfold qualifications are mentioned. Right? He is Adhikari, one who has got this fourfold quality. You must have heard, but then let us analyze from the, again, Atma Bodha point of view. And we'll later on, we'll analyze Anubandha Chatushtayam also, what is it, from Atma Bodha point of view. So, this is called Sadhana Chatushtayam. So, Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna, first of all, one should be endowed with fourfold qualifications. So beautiful. So that to study any textbook, these are the preconditions. Now in this sloka, Vairagya, Shat Sampatti and Mumukshutva, these three are clearly seen in the first sloka. Viveka is to be added by us. We assume Viveka is there, we should be added, it is there already. We can also add Viveka from different dimensions, but I am not going into all those things. So, but Viveka we will add first. It has to be added. But you know, Vairagya, Shat Sampatti and Mumukshutva are already mentioned in this sloka. So now we must add Viveka. Why? You know, without Viveka, nobody will ever think about Atma Jnanam or liberation or Samsara Bandhanat Muktihi. Nobody thinks. What is meant by Viveka? Viveka is Sat Asad Vastu Viveka. It is said in Tattva Bodha. Sat Ekam Vastu. Other than that, everything is unreal. This is Viveka. Meaning what? Very simple thing is that Viveka, discrimination, I'm not going in depth again, between real and unreal has to take place. So I must know. That means what? In life, one should get extreme clarity clarity to such an extent that what I need in life, what I don't need in life. And in order to reach my goal, whatever is, first of all, goal to be clear. Once I keep my goal as, for example, in this case, liberation, knowing the truth, enlightenment, if that is the goal, okay, then what happens is in life automatically all unnecessary things, unwanted things, unrequired things in my journey towards the liberation, they all will get dropped, they will be left behind. So whatever our duties are, whatever we are born with, prarabdha karma, duties are there, that of course we will do. But all other things, unwanted, unnecessary things, which takes me away from the goal, they are all dropped. So what I want is fullness, completeness, liberation. And what I don't want is all those things which take me away from my goal. Therefore, this has to be done. Now, who will give me Viveka? So you must have heard this famous Binu Satsanga, Vivekana Hoi. Oh, Satsang alone will give us Vivek. Because we have to be hammered. So many lives we have been living. So we don't know the truth. Therefore, it has to be hammered and again by Guru, by Shastra. Then only Viveka will shine in us. So this has to be assumed, though it is not conspicuously clearly seen, but Viveka is the primary qualification without which nobody will practice other three. So Viveka is the first qualification. Now here it says, Vitaraginam. The sloka Vitaraginam Vairagya. So Vairagya is second qualification. See? So Vairagyam is the dispassion. Vairagyam is the qualification. Here Vitaragi means one who has person, one who is endowed with Vairagya. So that is Vitaragi. One who is dispassionate. That is one thing. And Vairagyam is the qualification. So one who has got Vairagyam, he is called Vitaragi. Vitaraginam. Vitaraginam means all those people who have grown in them dispassion towards all those things which are not. First, I do Viveka. Viveka I know. And you know one thing, even though Viveka is there, if Vairagyam is not there, that Viveka is of no use. Like smoking is injurious to health. I know it is injurious to health. You don't have to tell me. But I have not developed Vairagya towards that smoking. Therefore, that is, Mahatma says, that is not true Viveka at all. Though you know you are not able to follow, it is not true Viveka, some people say. Otherwise, we can say, Viveka might be there, but Vairagya, if it is not there, it is of no use. So, Vitaragina, this text is given for whom? Those who have got the fourfold qualifications. For them only this is written. Suppose somebody says, no, Swamiji, I don't have these qualifications right now. So as I said, Gurudev said, go, don't read any textbook, live life, earn money, enjoy life, get kicked by the world, as Gurudev used to say, get kicked by the world. Then you understand, question what is life, what is happening to me. Then you say, ask the purpose of life. Then you go to temples and other places. Then you will meet Mahatmas. Then inquire from them, listen to them. Then you get all the fourfold qualifications. So Vairagyam, if you have, it is a strength. Vairagyam is a strength because I don't have any fascination towards all those objects which are taking me away from the goal. Even if I slip for some time, it may happen, but I will bounce back quickly. So Vairagya will be established eventually fully. Therefore, that is called Vairagyam. Vitaragina. Shantanam is a beautiful word again. So I'm going by Viveka, Vairagya, Shatsampatti, Mokshutva. So Vairagya is told Vitaraginam. And the previous word is Shantanam. Tapobhik, Kshina Papanam, Shantanam. Shantanam means what? Again, Shanti, Shamaha is a qualification. Shantanam, Shantaha is a qualification. Shantanam, one who has got Shanti, Adi, Ityadi qualifications. Shanti, etc. qualifications. What is this qualification? You know, must have studied Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, and Samadhanam. Okay. Now we shall see. First one is what? Shantaha, meaning Shamaha. Shamaha means what? Mano Nigraha. Mano Nigraha means a simple thing is mind control. Some people don't use control word. This is a mind discipline. Our mind is under my dictates. If I say go, it goes out. If I say don't go, it don't go out. It doesn't go out. So that kind of control on the mind is called Shamaha, Mano Nigraha. That comes by long practice. Shamaha. Now second one is what? Shantana meaning Shanti, etc. Shama, Shantana, Shanta, etc. So etc. mean all these things, Anam, Shantanam, all the six are included. All the five, rest of the five are included. So we are seeing second one. Shantanam mein Shantaha ya Samaha. Shamaha means Manonigraha. The first one. A disciplined mind. One whose mind is under his or her control completely. Under his or her dictates. That's the first thing. Second one is Damaha. Damaha is Indriya Nigraha. Sense control. Because you know, sometimes mind control may be there, but sense organs are tempting. They are getting tickled by the sense objects. So at the Indriya level, also I must practice control. That is called Damaha. Now Uparati. Third one. Shamaha, Damaha, Uparati. Now, Uparati means what? Quietude. In Vedanta, Uparati is quietude. I can go little deeper. In Tattva Bodha, Uparati means Swadharma Anushtanameva is it. Meaning, if you do your duties, dharma, Swadharma, it is Uparati. How can it be Uparati? Uparati means withdrawal. Uparati means Shanti, quietude. How can when you are doing your own Swadharma, mind becomes quiet? On two accounts, it becomes quiet. When we are engaged in Swadharma, for which we should know what Swadharma is, whatever my full duties and responsibilities are, most of us do not know. Even if I know, and if I am performing all my Swadharma only, right from morning till evening, automatically it means I have withdrawn from all those unnecessary outward activities which take me away from my Swadharma. If you follow Swadharma, Anybody Swadharma, if you really understand and follow, this implies we will not be having any time left for any other activity. That is the Shastra says. So Swadharma Anushtanameva there Uparati automatically takes place, withdrawal. But Uparati meaning also in Vedanta quietude. Now the question is, Shamaha also means Mano Nigraha, Shanti, it is called Shantana, Shamaha, quietude. Then Uparati also quietude. If you bring like that, then what is the difference between Shamaha and Uparati? So Mahatmas have given so beautifully. Uparati is a continued state of mental peace. It's a beautiful thing. Meaning what? The mind which is withdrawn, which is peaceful, Shamaha, Mano Nigraha, that mind which has been regulated, which has been brought under discipline, which has been quietened. Uparati means what? It doesn't go out again without your command, or we can say a continued state of that peace is called Uparati, undisturbed for longer duration. So Shamaha, Damaha, Uparati, and the fourth one is called Titiksha. Titiksha means, simple meaning is forbearance, ability to bear, Shita, Ushna, Dukkha, Sahishnutvam, ability to bear Sukha, Dukkhadi. Why we should bear Sukham? Sukham, we should be happy normally. You know why? There are some Sukham, sudden Sukham declared. I know many cases. I know one typical case also. Many years back it happened. On one day, the High Court had dismissed all the cases against him, all false cases on him. So this man won all the cases. Suddenly, he relieved himself from all the burden. He came back to hotel. He came from his village, from his place, town. I know him very well. Long back it happened. Maybe around 18, 17, 18 years back or 20 years back it happened. Maybe around 18 years back. He started calling everybody on the hotel phone that I am relieved, I am relieved, I am relieved. Friends and family and wife and everybody started elated and happy. And after a few hours, he was found dead in his own room. Then it was declared that out of excessive joy that he got relieved from all cases, he could not contain that joy. So death caused by excessive joy. That is the report. I know him. I went to his house also for Bhiksha. So I am not lying here. So one is Atti Sukham also, we say our feet will not be on the ground. Because the Sukham will go immediately and we fall from the heights. That is dangerous. So Sukham also should control. Bhagavan Krishna says, don't be controlled, be limited. Enjoy, but know that that moment also will pass away. And Dukkham, of course, nobody wants it. We have to bear it. So Bhagavan Krishna, Shankaracharya says in Vivek Chudamani, Chinta Vilaparhitam Satitiksha Nigadyate Sahanam Sarvadukhanam Apratikara Purvakam. Ability to bear all the sorrows without any reactions in the mind. Why this to me? Why it happened to me? Why can't it happen to others? What sin I have done? Reacting to it, if we can. Not easy, but that is Titiksha. Chinta Vilaparahitam. No vilapa, no internal cry, no sorrow, no worries, no anxieties. Sa Titiksha Nigadyate. So a spiritual seeker has to cultivate these qualities so that he can create his enlightenment. Meaning, create enlightenment means what? Create the conditions in the mind for enlightenment. To recognize the divinity, the mind is so disturbed. So mind has to be calm. So titiksha is the fourth one. Then comes, of course, Shraddha, Samadhanam, all those things. Shraddha is faith and Samadhanam is Chitta Ekagrata. Shastrasya Guruvakyasya Shraddha. That faith in Guru's words and Shastra is Shraddha. And ultimately, Samadhanam is Chitta Ekagrata Samadhanam. So therefore, Shantanam, Vitaraginam, Shantanam, Viveka is over, Mumukshunam. And one who has got that burning, Gurudev says, burning desire for liberation. Mumukshu is the person who has got this mumuksha quality, a desire to liberate, a burning desire to liberate, to come out of who know who I am. Like Ramana Maharshi had that desire, burning desire to know who I am. Tapon Maharaj had that desire. Our Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayanji had that desire. He went out. I want to know the truth. And he discovered, he thanked Tapon Maharaj for giving him that kind of experience divine. He thanked the Paramaguru, Tapon Maharaj. So therefore, Tapon Maharaj also is absolutely enlightened being. He would say, other than Brahman, I don't see anything. This is not intellect, these are statements made out of mind. It is a practical, their existence in that divine plane. We can say spiritual plane. Therefore, these four qualifications, Viveka, Vairagya, Shatsampatti, and Mumukshatva is necessary. Now, this we have seen. So, Tapobhik, Shinapapan, we'll see later on. Shantanam, Vitaraginam, Mumukshunam, Apekshoyam, Atmabhodo, that we'll see. Now comes the Anubandha Chatushtayam. Because we are laying the foundation for Atmabodha. Starting with what is Atmabodha, what is Prakarana Grantha, why should we gain Atma Jnanam, what is the necessity of Vritti Jnanam, and then we came across the first sloka, fourfold qualifications, how to cultivate Viveka, I said Satsang, all those things. Now, Anubandha Chatushtaya. There are four things, required. In any subject matter, there are four things to be understood. What is it? First was Adhikari, who is a fit recipient, fit student to understand the subject. Atmabodha, Adhikari. Vishaya, what is the subject matter of this text, what we are studying? Sambandha, that we will talk about it. And Prayojanam or Phalam, what exactly is the Prayojanam? Any book you do, who is a fit student for this? What is the subject matter of this? All those things. Okay. Now, first we'll see Adhikari. Who is Adhikari? Adhikari is Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna Adhikari. What we saw already. Viveka, Vairagya, Shatsampatti, Mumukshutva. One who has got all the four is called Adhikari. Okay. Second is Vishaya. Vishaya is what? Subject matter. Subject matter is what here? Here given the textbook, Tapobhik, Kshenapapanam, Shantanam, Vitaraginam, Mumukshunam, Apekshoyam, Atmabodho Vidhiyate. So what is the subject matter Vishaya here? Atmabodha. Atmabodha is the Vishaya. So therefore, Atmabodha is a Vishaya. Sorry, Atmabodho Vidhiyate. Here Atmabodha means here now important. The Atmabodha is the textbook we are studying. Atma is the subject matter. What is dealt in Atma Bodha textbook is Atma, not Anatma. This is very important point. So the subject matter is what? Self, your own self. So who is Adhikari? Viveka Vairagya Shatsampatti Mokshutva. Okay. So second one is Vishayam is Atma and not Anatma. Vishaya. The third one is Prayojanam, we will see. Prayojanam. So therefore, Prayojana means Atma Bodha. Atma is the subject matter, Vishaya. Whatever I am talking about in this text is Atma, about self. What is Prayojanam? You get the knowledge of Atma. So Atma Bodha is Prayojanam. Therefore means what? One will get Atma Jnanam, Atma Bodha, Atma Jnanam, self-knowledge. That is the Prayojanam. That is the Phalam, that is the purpose. And this self-knowledge, once we get, we will see in the class, once we gain the self-knowledge, it becomes the immediate cause for liberation. So ultimate cause is, ultimate phalam or prayojanam is what? Liberation. But liberation how? It provides us first jnanam, atma jnanam, knowledge about the self, which will remove the ajnana in us, and thereby, so knowledge and ajnana are removed. Knowledge removes ajnana, and afterwards, the swayam prakasha atma, swayam prakashate. It just shines its forth in its own glory alone. So that is the meaning. Therefore here, very important, adhikari, vishaya and prayojanam is. And now fourth one is sambandha. Very careful listen now. Sambandha means relationship. Sambandha is relationship. There's a rain outside, so that sound is coming. So, sambandha, relationship. Relationship is what? Between two things. Here, we can talk about relationships between many things in this textbook. I will just enumerate, then I will talk only about one. First one is what? Sambandha between, if you take a text, Atma Bodha text, the Grantha, and the subject matter, that is Vishaya, that is called Sambandha, relationship between the book, Atma Bodha text, Grantha, and the subject matter which is dealt by the Grantha. That is one relationship. It is called Pratipadya Pratipadaka Sambandha. What is Pratipadya Vastu? What is that Vastu which is to be ascertained, which is described, which is elaborated? Atma. And what is that Grantha, what you are studying? Does it speak about Atma or something else? It speaks about Atma. So, सब बुक का किताब अलग है, कंटेंट अलग हो गया तो संबंध ही नहीं है. हम कई बार कहते हैं ना कि we see some title we see and we open the book and the content of the book has nothing to do with the title. Then we say there is no sambandha between the title which he claims that it will be expounded in the textbook and the content of the book. There is no sambandha. Very beautiful. So there must be a sambandha between the text what we are studying, Atma Bodha Grantha, and does it speak about Atma or Anatma? Atma only. So that is one sambandha. So the text which reveals the Atma, the sambandha, relationship between the text which reveals the Atma and the Atma which is revealed, that relationship between these two is called Pratipadya Pratipadaka Sambandha. So here Atma is Pratipadya Vastu and Atma Bodha, the Grantha textbook is called Pratipadaka Grantham. That is one relationship. Second relationship is, I am just enumerating. If you take the knowledge and the result, Jnanam, Vishaya, Jnanam, what is the subject matter of the knowledge here? and the prayojana. That is another sambandha. So you, for example, this because of Atma Bodha, the textbook, if we ready this jnanam, we gain this knowledge. What is the result? The result should be liberation. So the knowledge and the prayojanam. Between these two sambandha, this is called Janya Janaka Sambandha. Jnanam is Janyam. Sorry, Jnanam is produced, and Janya is that Atma Tattva, Anubhava, the experience, ultimate that knowledge. That's called Janya Janaka Sambandha. So therefore, this is the knowledge is the phalam. And what it is, so knowledge is Janakaha, producer, and Janyam is ultimately the produce, the Atma Jnana. And last one is, if we take, so I'm different relationships I'm talking. But Swamiji, why it is necessary to know? It is necessary only because we get clarity between many types of relationships are there. In all the relationships, if it is fulfilled, then only there will be a knowledge which is pakka. Otherwise, as I told you in the beginning, that if the textbook name, the promise that it is made, it will speak about X or Y or Z, but then in the content of the book, it is nothing about X, Y, Z, then we say there is no sambandha between these two. Similarly, these relationships are very essential. And third one is between adhikari and vishaya, that is, and the relationship between the student and the subject matter of the study. This third relationship. But here, normally, whenever we speak about sambandha, we always speak about the sambandha between, relationship between the text and the subject matter. But these two are important. The textbook, the grantha, and the subject matter which is dealing with it, is the sambandha between these two are very, very important. So pratipadya, pratipadaka, sambandha. Okay. Now, sambandha is over. Because all these things are there in first sloka. Now, mumukshunam, what is the prayojanam? Next back, ultimately coming back to test, he says, mumukshunam apekshyaha. So, here in the textbook it says that this book is written keeping in view of mumukshus. Apeksha means which is hoping or expected to gain or to be pursued or to be resorted to, keeping in whom? In view. This book is given keeping mumukshus, this example, this pustaka or book Atma Bodha is written. Friends, remember, ultimately, mumukshu we must become, and when we become mumukshu, then we take resort to knowledge. So mumukshunam apekshaha, ayam granthaha, this Atma Bodha grantha is vidhiyate. Vidhiyate is composed by me. Now, first two words are there, tapobhik kshina papanam. Very important. So therefore, when you read by those people, tapasya, penance, kshina papanam, and therefore through tapasya only, when the papas are reduced. Gurudev says sin is in reactions. Sin is tendencies inside. When all these papa tendencies are reduced, you don't have to first worry about the nil. It will happen eventually. But when they are reduced, to the extent the sins are reduced, to that extent we get a desire to know our own self. So therefore, tapobhihi, one who has done pinan, tapasya, and one who has kshena papanam, because of the tapasya, kshena papanam is the result. Because of through tapasya, when sins are reduced, whatever tapasya you take japam, tapam, you take japa, you take upasana, you take samaj seva, you take anything you take. For a long time when we do, our chitta becomes purified. Once it is purified, then we will get viveka, vairagya, shat sampatti, mokshutva, and then we will, once you get fourfold qualifications pakka, then we can understand this text, Atma Bodha. That means what? All of us are having at different levels and different degrees of understanding. It's not that all of us are in same degree. So therefore, whatever way we have achieved, the very fact that you are listening, you are in me to this even for 5 minutes, logged in and logged out after 5 minutes. There is a vasana in you to peep into the textbook or whatever the class is happening, or to peep through window. So therefore, once we have little qualification, but continue study, so simultaneously, master's advice, simultaneously practice, not one by one need not be. So little bit of good karma, little bit of the meditation, little bit of japa, attempt to meditate. If the mind is running, doesn't matter. Samskara to sit every day for about 5 minutes or 10 minutes in the morning. Mere samskara to sit, physical body, to sit straight at least for 5 minutes. I know mind is running. Perhaps when I close my eyes, my mind runs even faster. Doesn't matter. But samskara to be created. Thus, simultaneously practice all these things, and then we will be eligible to receive the supreme wisdom. So, this is what first sloka says. Very purpose of the text is given, to whom it is given, who is adhikari, what is vishaya, what is sambandha, what is prayojanam. Everything is given in this so beautiful first sloka itself. Now, as I told you yesterday, that what is the primary disease? The disease for all of us, we are all suffering from disease called ignorance. Coming to the Vedanta point of view, Vedanta says what is ultimate tatparya of all Vedas? Tatparya Nirdharana, which is done in Brahma Sutras by Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji. Vyasji, of course, he gave. Then Sutra Bhashya, Bhashyakara is there, and so many other commentaries on Bhashya also were there. But ultimately, what is it they find out? What is the ultimate the what you call teaching of Veda? Ultimate teaching is, so seemingly contradictory things are all resolved in Brahma Sutras. They are not contradictory, they are not opposite statements. Ultimately, Antima Nirnaya, Tatparya, Tatparata of Veda is only in proving Advaita. Advaita. And Jnana Devata Kaivalya. Only through Jnanam alone this Kaivalya is possible. No other way it is possible. This is the ultimate declaration. But what about bhakti? What about karma? What about upasana? What about samaj seva? What about other things are all? So these things are all told. So in the next sloka, ultimately, sakshat karanam, direct cause for liberation is only jnanam. And eventually, in the slokas, in Atma Bodha, Bhagavan Shankaracharya lays emphasis why we should know this jnanam. So ultimately, through jnanam alone, one will get liberation. So liberation is not gati. There is no going out, going, coming in and all. It is realizing that we are all pervading Brahman wherever we are. Thereafterwards, there is no gati, there is no movement, because I am already realized, awakened to the truth that I am all pervading reality. Therefore, Atma Bodha in this Jnanam is very essential and gives clarity through many examples, and thus we will understand the content of this textbook slowly, and we contemplate, then we get clarity, then we can do our Vyavahara properly without getting caught up in the world, and then we can fulfill all our responsibilities to society, family, etc., and reveal ourselves in that knowledge of Supreme. So that is the purpose of Atma Bodha, which we will take up from tomorrow. Of course, I'll start. I already started. First sloka is over. In second sloka onwards, we will enter into the flow of the wisdom of Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya. Thank you very much. Hari Om. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. सतगुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।